It's now time for Party Chat Sports.
The only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's your Buckeye Bros here. Caleb, Gill, Cam, Braun. Happy New Year's, everybody. Thank you, everybody that's tuned in this year. This 2025 has been a really good one for us here at Party Chat Sports, and we thank you. We've reached over 200 subscribers now. I don't know how many we got in 2025 alone, but I know a lot of them came in 2025. So thank you to everybody that subscribes, likes the channel on YouTube, TikTok, everywhere you get your podcast. But we've got some business to take care of here today. Obviously, Cam and I are both repping Ohio State. There's a big game tonight. So maybe by the time you hear this, Ohio State will have already whooped some Hurricane ass. But there's a couple other things that we got to take care of first. Of course, what we do a lot here is NFL talk. And this is I kind of want to say big, but it's really only big for like 3 teams, or 3 games, I should say, this weekend. We start the NFL weekend off with a game where only one of those teams is going to make the playoffs, and we end the weekend with a game where only one team makes the playoffs. Do or die to start and end the weekend. So we've got a lot of playoff conversation to talk about here. We're going to start this pod off by talking about those Week 18 games, and especially focusing a little bit more so on the ones that mean a little bit. And then we'll talk about the playoffs. We'll make some playoff predictions on the NFL. And then we'll wrap up this pod by talking college football playoffs. Cam, how are we feeling today?
Honestly, we're feeling pretty good. Just to start it off, the Week 18, there is a team out there that's game is not going to matter, and that's the Lions game. They're one of the teams that got eliminated last week. Let's just take a small second to talk about it. I think you kind of realized how much Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson have carried you over the years. Dan Campbell's still a good coach. He's still what I suspected. He's the rah-rah coach. He's a player's coach. But he's going to have to, surround himself in the building. I know injuries are an excuse and all that stuff. But, again, this was their Super Bowl window closing, in my opinion. So I think that's a great sign for the Vikings. Not so much. I do, however, I feel like there's a playoff team out there in the Packers, and they play the Vikings this week. It's a game that doesn't really matter for the Packers. I think they might end up sitting all their starters just to keep everybody healthy. And because of the Dallas Cowboys, it's not a playoff game, and it could have been.
Yeah.
So that's an extra one that could have been in there. The big one, what game do you want to start with that actually matters?
So let's start. The first game of the weekend is the Panthers-Buccaneers. That is for the NFC South crown. And the Buccaneers started this year off so hot. Like, I was thinking, is Baker, Mike Evans, Emeka Egbuka, are they going to carry them through a playoff run? And now we're staring at the Buccaneers, who may not even make the playoffs. They are 8-8. Sorry, 7-9. They're 7-9. They could finish the year 7-10 because of Bryce Young. Now, if you would have told, I think either of us, anyone here at Party Chat Sports, after 5 games, that Bryce Young was going to have a chance to upset, not even upset, I don't even know who the favorite is, but it's probably the Bucs. He's going to have a chance to go into Tampa in Week 18 and win the division and knock the Buccaneers out of the playoffs, would have called us insane. None of us would have ever thought that was possible because Bryce Young was not playing well. And even last week, Bryce Young has had a very rocky season, but I think you've seen more improvement this year. It was another week last week where he didn't even have 100 yards.
It was a growing up year. It helps when I don't know, it's such a weird Panthers team. You look at all their
It
players.
doesn't make sense. The NFC South doesn't make sense.
you got a couple superstars on your defense, and then you got a coach that just like, I mean, honestly, he was not good last year. You had the fourth overall pick, and then all of a sudden it's just a complete 180, and you turn it around. I mean, it's not a whole 180. I mean, they could have probably won a couple more games, but they were winning games that didn't make sense. So it's gonna be. I think this is their 1 year wonder, like how Washington was. I think that's gonna be their thing. But we'll see who they draft pick or who their draft pick will be. But it's going to be interesting because, like you said, with the Bucks, Abuka has been a non-factor like the
Hmm.
last 3 or 4 weeks, and I think
It's
that's
been
one of the
longer than
biggest things.
that. It's been disappointing,
And it's just
honestly.
like Mike Evans came back, and it's like they just kind of shoved Abuka to the side.
Well, even
I don't
when Mike
know
Evans was or still unhealthy, like Emeka
because
Buka.
Godwin came back in what, a couple weeks before Evans.
So let's go through his game log real quick for Buka. So he starts the year off. It's like 6 targets, 67 yards. And then he gets 7, 8, 10, 7, 4, 12, 9, 13, 9, 8, 8, 9. He's getting a lot of targets. Like the target share is not the problem. It's he's not making anything of them. So let's see. He had a 6 catch game for 115 yards against the Patriots in a loss early November. Since then, 5 catches for 40, 3 catches for 32, 4 catches for 42, 2 catches for 15. In all those games, he has 8 or more targets. Against the Falcons, 4 catches for 64. He had 7 targets. Against the Panthers, the last time these two teams played, 2 targets, resulting in 1 catch for 40. And then last week, he had 5 targets, 3 catches for 20. Like, I don't know what's going. The hands have been a little sus at times, where he's dropping passes that he wasn't at the beginning of the year, and maybe that's just rookie jitters. Like that'll
Yeah,
happen. It's
he
just
was
been
put on a
weird.
pedestal.
He was quick. We put him on a pedestal pretty quick.
I
He was
always kept
balling
him up
out.
there. I'm not gonna lie. I put him up there since day one.
I mean, fair. Did not expect this sort of drop off, and hopefully it picks back up next year. But we
Yeah.
were saying like when Mike Evans went down, somebody here in the chat was not one of us two. Probably Dylan, I think, was like, well, Mike Evans' 1,000 yard streak ends and now Buka's is about to start. That was a quote that was said.
Mm-hmm.
And he
What's Book
is,
at? Like 800?
he's at 930 yards. So he could get 70 this week, but
Yeah, it's not bad.
it's not bad. But when you look at the last couple weeks, he doesn't even
Well,
have 70 yards combined the last two.
JC
60
Horn
yards.
might be. It depends who JC Horn's going to be covering.
Yeah, they'll probably play more zone. I don't think they'll line him straight up with anybody. But this game is going to. I think Todd Bowles should firmly be on the hot seat
Yeah,
because
100%.
you talk about like Ben Johnson and how much he's impacted Dan Campbell, and Dan Campbell's still winning, and yeah, not making the
89.
playoffs this year. Not making the playoffs this year. I still
Bottom of the
believe in him.
division.
That's weird.
Bottom
It's
of the
kind of
division,
weird.
though. Right
It's
where you
familiar
started.
territory. Familiar territory for the Lions. They'll be fine though. They'll just need
Territory.
it. That was a rough word for me to get out.
Yeah, I know.
Yikes. They'll be fine. I'm not too worried about the Lions. Depends on who they hire as their OC. It's just sometimes it works. It happened. That same thing. I know I'm off track, but I said the same thing heading into this year for the Lions. Are probably going to have like an Eagles type year, where the year after the Eagles lost both Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen, that year was a little more rough for the Eagles, where Nick Sirianni, that transition, he hired two new coordinators. They had to let the one OC go, Brian Johnson, and they brought in Kellen Moore. They went to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying the Lions are going to the Super Bowl next year, but now Dan Campbell, he's got more experience, and I'm not as worried about Dan Campbell. I'm more worried about Jared Goff. That's going to be a later conversation, though.
Yeah.
In regards to
That's an
the
off-season.
Buccaneers, Todd Bowles has now lost. I mean, Dave Canales, the coach that's on the other side line in this game.
Didn't he come from Tampa Bay, too?
Yep. He was Tampa Bay's OC. And then following Dave Canales was Liam Cohen, who's balling out in Jacksonville. So now Todd Bowles is down to his third OC in the last 4 or 5 years. And he is just not... It's just not the same. Like, I'm more worried about him when it comes to, like, OCs and leaving than I am Dan Campbell long term. And Todd Bowles has always been an issue. I like Todd Bowles. I think I like him. I don't think he's a really good head coach. I think the Buccaneers, if they lose this game, there's a couple of these games this week where it's like you're in and you're in. If you lose, you're done. And the loser, we'll talk about another one later on, could definitely see a change in coach. And I think if Todd Bowles does not beat this Carolina Panthers team, if he falls to 7-10, especially when the expectations were a little bit higher, especially when you started the year off the way you started off, and now you've fizzled out, it's not a great look, Todd. And I think Tampa Bay could be an attractive job option if it opens up.
Yeah, I definitely would say so. I mean, it's a good overall team, but I think that's enough Bucks talk. I think we should move.
There's
to the number
another
one
Saturday
seed
game. The other Saturday game. Seahawks 49ers. This is going to be so fun.
It's going to be a great game, honestly.
Glock Birdie. Oh, I can't even get it out. Glock Purdy.
Glock Purdy. Okay.
Glock Purdy.
I'd say
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that Purdy's seeing his love and his recognition. Everybody here knows how much I love him. I am the biggest
two
Brock
people in
Purdy,
our chat.
I know. I'm the biggest Brock Purdy glazer here at Party Chat Sports. I made an entire video this summer on him. And the amount of he's just a system quarterback and the Mac Jones conversation blew my mind. When it was like, oh, Mac Jones should just be the starter. No. Chill out.
Purdy's got 14 touchdowns in 3 games, or what? Yeah, 14 in 3 games,
something like that.
It was something.
Like, you could tell he wasn't healthy. You could tell he wasn't healthy at times. And look, the one thing that I think is undervalued and underrated about Purdy. Yes, he's a game manager. So what? First of all. Secondly, his mobility is very underrated. Like, one thing I've always liked about him, and I noticed a lot last year, is how he kind of, like, resets. Like, he'll break out of the pocket. He doesn't see it. He's not going to force it. He's keeping his eyes downfield, but he's still evading pass rushers and defenders. And then, before he's ready to go, he completely, like, resets and can unleash. Like, he's not, like, moving and, like, throwing on the run. He moves around. He finds time. He makes more time for himself. Resets.
Been a little Mahomey.
A little bit. I'm not going that far. He is not in. His talent is not Mahomes, but his ability to reset the pocket and reset his feet and just kind of like extend plays is very special, I think. And I just love it. Now, do I think he wins this week? I don't know.
I mean, I think you're more worried about how Sam Darnold's going to play than Brock Purdy, because I mean, look at what Sam did last week, and you can say last year in the same scenario. Last week he got bailed out a little bit from the defense, and
he's been bailed out a couple times by the defense in the last few weeks. Like the last month or so has not been early season Sam.
And here's the thing: San Francisco does not have a pass rush whatsoever right now. The Bears were able to do whatever the heck they wanted to them. If they get Sam just a little frazzled, this game could get really ugly really quick with how fast and quick the 49ers can score. This 49ers team should not be. This is not the best 49ers teams we've seen in the last couple of years, and they still have the shot to get the number 1 seed. It's kind of ridiculous.
It is.
Kyle Shanahan,
we'll go through the playoff machine here in a little bit. I think for anybody that would object to what you just said about Sam, would point out the Rams game a couple weeks ago, where I think he was down 16. It was like 16 points. I think he led it was a comeback win for the Seahawks against the Rams, and he was composed. The way he led that game and led the Seahawks in the fourth quarter was electric. So he has shown in some moments that he can be that guy that wins in the clutch. But he's also, like you mentioned, last year for the Vikings, he's shown where he's not going to be clutched. I'm very interested to see what Sam we get, because you are right. The Sam we get and the Brock we get, like, I would be a little bit more concerned about the Sam Darnold that does play. Seahawks are favored by 1.5 on the road in San Francisco, which makes sense. Seahawks are 13-3, 49ers are 12-4. I keep going back and forth on who I think is going to win this game. It's tough because last week the 49ers offense looked good enough. Yeah. It'll be Kyle Shanahan versus Mike McDonald. How this game go the last time these two teams played is my question.
I'm pretty sure 49ers won. I'm not sure where it was played at, though.
Where are you? 17-13, September 7th. Was this the first game of the year? It was. Purdy, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Darnold, 16-23, 150. JSN was 9 catches, 124 yards. JSN's baller. Either him or Puka for Offense Player of the Year. I'm actually going to look up the odds real quick. But this is going to be a very fun matchup between the Seahawks and the 49ers. NFL award odds. Let's see. What are the award odds looking like right now for?
Let's say JSN needs
MVP?
what, 250? 255 to break the record?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to break it. JSN is favored at minus 380 on FanDuel for Offense Player of the Year. Then Christian McCaffrey plus 380. Then Puka Nacua is third at plus 1,400. Christian McCaffrey is a favorite for Comeback Player of the Year. It's not even close. Makes sense. The record I think does get broken this weekend is Myles Garrett breaking the sack record, and that will all but. I mean, he's got minus 20,000 odds for Defensive Player of the Year, and then Will Anderson plus 7,500. It's locked. There is. Offensive Rookie of the Year is a little interesting because at the beginning of the year it's like, oh, Emeka Buka, sure thing. Now it's like Tetaroa McMillan's the favorite at minus 135, but Tyler Shuck for the Saints.
Yeah, he came on late. Like Travion.
He came on late. Travion is third. Travion's ahead of Emeka right now.
I mean, it makes sense. It's recency bias.
Falcons. If Tyler Shuck has a really good game against the Falcons and Tetaroa McMillan does not do anything against the Bucs, I think Shuck wins the Offensive Rookie of the Year award.
I don't think you can't not have Tyler Shuck win that award right now. You're a great quarterback.
I wouldn't say great.
McMillan has what?
He's been good.
He has 800. How much does McMillan have? 800 yards, 864 or something.
Tet McMillan has 929.
Okay.
929 yards on 66 catches, 7 tutties. But he hasn't scored a touchdown since October. No, that's backwards. Dumbass. No, he scored 1 against the Bucs the last time they played.
So I'm wondering how much it's going to influence if McMillan. I know it's a regular season award, but if the Panthers make the playoffs,
they could give it to the guy in the Panthers.
Yeah, because he made more of an impact.
If he has an impact, if he has like a 100-yard game, scores a touchdown against the Bucs, I think he locks that award up.
Yeah. I mean, you're a 1,000-yard receiver that I don't think Carolina's had one for quite a bit. It's been a while. I'm trying to think of who their last 1,000 receiver would be.
Last time Panthers had a 1,000-yard receiver.
trying to think
Who do you think it is?
What's the year?
So the last time it was a wide receiver was 2018. They've had multiple 1,000-yard receiving players like Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Back in 2019. And
I want
then
to say Samuel.
So Curtis Samuel had 1,000 scrimmage yards in 2020.
Okay. 2018.
But
Billy
DJ
Brown?
Moore was the last receiver.
Oh, DJ Moore.
Moore.
Yeah, I forgot he played for the Panthers.
Yeah, he was part of that trade that allowed the Panthers to go get Bryce Young. That's a crazy trade to go look back on. Like, the Bears now, they would not be anywhere close to as good if it wasn't for that trade. So, Chicago fans, I hope you gave the Panthers something for Christmas this year. Just said thank you for being as good as you are, because the Panthers
helping us get out of the dirt.
Yep. All right, so those two games wrapped up essentially. Now, I'm going to share the playoff machine. We're going to just pick these games real quick. We'll kind of go over a couple. Playoff machine. Let's see. Can you see? Allow this time. Can you see the machine?
I can see the machine.
All right. So we'll come back to these two last. I'm thinking Texans over Colts, Cowboys. Because, I mean, a lot of these games, there's nothing to play for. The Cowboys might be resting starters, so maybe the Giants actually pull off the upset with Jackson Dart, because they looked good last week. But Texans have something to play for. Bengals are the better team over the Browns. Shador does not look that good, but Myles Garrett.
What a perfect team to get the record against, too. Actually perfect.
Against Joe Burrow?
Well,
I would rather
I'm saying the offensive line.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I would have too. 100%.
Yeah. I would have
sent somebody into a spiral.
Cooler, like it would have. You still there?
Yeah.
Something went away.
Right here.
Okay. I don't know what to make of the Saints and Falcons. How do you feel about the Vikings this week?
I think the defense is going to be too good. We're going to go 9-8. I mean, it depends.
You're winning?
It depends on how. I think we're going to win. Unfortunately, this is why I don't like the Cowboys currently. It's going to be Brosmer.
So if the Packers win, the Packers. Who's playing at quarterback for the Packers? Is it still Malik Willis?
It'll probably
doesn't
still
look
be
like
Malik Willis. I don't think if they win, it changes their seeding at all.
It doesn't. They're 7th seed. They're 9-6-1. They can't move up.
That's why I think that they'll just rest their starters.
Yeah, I could definitely see them resting their starters because they have. They can't change their seeding at all. Maybe they come in for a series or something.
Which I'd like.
Titans, Jaguars, Jags. What's that?
I'd like Minnesota to lose, and then Detroit to win, so we get the 4th place schedule. Because it is a night and day difference.
I think we play the NFC North next year or something like that.
Yeah, I'd love to play the Jets.
I'm sure you would. Rams over Cardinals, that's easy. Actually, I know the Raiders are tanking, but could the Chiefs lose to the Raiders this week?
They probably could. We don't know how good
they could.
That quarterback is not very good at all. I mean, he's got some special skills, but he's not good. He's not good.
No, it's scary hours. I'm just gonna leave it at Raiders because they're the only one with the quarterback I can pronounce the name of. Patriots.
I think Patriots. Are they locked in?
Yeah, they could. They're not. They could. Oh. If they lose.
If they win and the Broncos lose.
If they win and the Broncos lose, then they get the 1 seed. So they have the 1 seed to play for. Well, what time does that game?
While we're recording this.
Okay, so
hold on. Now we have to
Oh, they
rethink the
play at the same
Patriots
time.
game because their defensive tackle just had charges pressed against him. So it's the second Patriots player in the last 2
The
days.
Patriots had a defensive player?
Christian Barrymore. With misdemeanor and battery charges.
That's not funny.
Oh my goodness. It's not funny at all.
That's not funny. It's rather unfortunate.
Patriots might be cooked. Vrabel's pissed right now, I can tell you that.
Okay.
He's about to start suiting up.
Let's see. Okay. What he said 2 minutes ago, he was asked if he's disappointed in the allegations made against Stephon Diggs and Christian Barrymore. Well, I would not say disappointing at all. I think that these are allegations. It's things that we have to handle, and every day there are distractions. Some are smaller than others. I'm confident that we'll focus on the Dolphins. Okay. If you say so, bud. Wait, hold on. What did I just see on this? So, on the Cowboys front, owner Jerry Jones said, we're going to start Dak on Sunday, but he sounded like Prescott might not play the entire game. How we use Dak, let's make that part of the game plan that we won't talk about. Interesting. So for anybody that's trying to bet on games this week, there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks and players potentially sitting. On the Patriots front, now the Dolphins do always have or find a way to upset the Patriots somehow. And I think Mike McDaniel could still be coaching for his job, but Patriots, I think, are still the better team, so I'm leaving it Patriots here. This Chargers-Broncos game. I think the Chargers are the better team, but they're not. I don't get the Broncos. They just have a really good defense, and
the Chargers are also a very weird team. They look like they.
Oh, you good? Oh boy. Cam, you with me? Oh, his recording has stopped due to an incoming call. So that's a bummer. Hopefully that's taken care of. But the Broncos, both these teams, like Cam was starting to say, are very interesting, weird teams. And the Chargers should be a lot better. But they're not. The Broncos are the team that's in the driver's seat for the number 1 seed. So I'm going to leave the Broncos as beating the Chargers. So I do think the Chargers are better. I don't know. Let's go Eagles Commanders. I mean, do the Eagles, does winning change their seeding at all? It could. So Eagles and Bears. Welcome back.
Hello. The wifey called.
So I got Eagles beating the Commanders and Bears beating the Lions at the moment, but I could see the Lions still beating the Bears. Like, I could see Dan Campbell wanting to go out high and not end the season with another loss, and Jared Goff wanting to prove some doubters wrong. Because a lot of the...
Where's it at? That's the question.
It's in Chicago.
It's in Chicago. Yeah, but you also got to think Ben Johnson hates Dan Campbell. Who hates two more?
Do you remember the last time these two teams played?
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
No?
Was it not Thanksgiving? No, or was it like week 2? It was early.
It was early because the Lions hung a ton of points up on the Bears.
The Lions win?
The Lions won the last time.
Why can I not remember that?
Let me pull it up. Last time these two teams played was September 14th. The second game of the year. The Bears scored 21 points. The Lions, 52.
Damn. Yeah, Ben Johnson's going to be pissed. But he's also not going to want to show his bag for the playoffs. That's the problem.
I think the bag is always deep for Ben Johnson.
The bag is very deep. You're right.
It's like Santa's, gift bag. Like, it's just endless.
He just makes up a play out of his ass.
He really does. I don't know where he comes up with it, but God bless him sometimes.
Let's take the Bears. Freaking ladder last week. Yeah, I'm taking the Bears to win. I think they're hot. The Bears are a very scary team.
I mean, they were very close to having the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets-Bills, the Bills are going to rest a lot of their starters, I think. Josh Allen has an Iron Man streak to keep intact, so he'll probably come up for like a drive or a snap so that his streak of like games he's played in and starts continues. But also the Bills will have something to play for. It's their last game in that stadium. They're going to want to close that stadium off with a bang. And also, their backups, like Mitch Trubisky is the backup for the Bills, is better than Brady Cook or Hendon Hooker or whoever the Jets pick up off the scrap heap. The Bills' backups are better than the Jets' practice squad team. Now, here's your Sunday Night Football matchup. Ravens, Steelers. How did we get here? Well, I'll tell you how. Classic Mike Tomlin. I picked up on this weeks ago, and I think everybody was kind of having the feeling of like, all right, it's going to come down to that last game of the year. Don't know how we're going to get there. And there's been a couple twists and turns where it's like, all right, the Steelers are going to run away with this division. And then they lose to the Browns last week and can't even score 7 points. They finished the game, they score 6 points against the Browns. By the way, the Jets scored a lot more points against the Browns than the Steelers did. These are facts. The Steelers have blown their chance to just run away with the division. And now, granted, it's in Pittsburgh, but the Ravens are coming in. And this game is always hot. This game...
It's going to be some bloodshed. I think it's going to be... That DK being suspended is going to be the reason the Steelers don't make the playoffs.
Do you think the Ravens win?
I really do. I think Henry is going to... I just think... Derrick Henry's hot. I think Lamar is going to realize what's at stake. They were 1-5. Oh, hello, Saber. I think she agrees. I can't see the Steelers winning this game, but then it's going to be like Dylan is going to tell us this is a game that the Steelers will win, but they shouldn't win because it's just I don't know.
Well, he's going to rebuke the Lamar thing that you just said. Because he's going to mention how Lamar always folds in big games. So do the Steelers. There's a reason they haven't won a playoff game since 2018. And, I mean, let's go through what Dylan sent into the chat, in the Twitter chat. He sent, like, all these years that Tomlin should have been fired. Okay, so for people that think...
Yeah, but that went back to, like, 2011.
It did.
That's ridiculous.
So, I'm going to go back. I'm going to take us back. I thought that was ridiculous, too, after 2011. Because they had just come off a Super Bowl appearance.
He doesn't even believe that.
Mike Tomlin should have been fired after losing to Tim Tebow in 2011. Mike Tomlin should have been fired after going 8-8 with extremely talented rosters in 2012 and 2013. Tomlin should have been fired after losing to Joe Flacco and the Ravens in the playoffs at home in 2014. After letting Blake Bortles and the Jaguars score 45 on them in the playoffs in 2018, even though he's a defensive mastermind. That was nuts.
Yeah,
should have been fired after...
That whole game was nuts. I remember that.
We were so close to a Blake Bortles and Nick Foles Super Bowl. People forget that.
It's what it should have been, too.
I know. If it wasn't for a... Whatever.
It wasn't for
Nick
Tom
Foles
Brady.
Still won. That's okay. Tom Brady didn't win that Super Bowl, so it is what it is. After collapsing with a 4-2-1 start in 2019 and missing the playoffs, in 2020, after starting 11-0, collapsing and losing to the Browns in the wild card and letting them hang up 48, even though he's a defensive mastermind. In 23, after choking a 7-4 start with losses to the 2-win Patriots and 3-win Cardinals, choking a 10-3 start, losing 5 straight with the highest paid defense in the league, and now the final one, should be fired after years of wasting talent, including multiple years with the highest paid offense, defense, 3 Hall of Fame QBs, and losing 3 Hall of Fame QBs. Ben,
Russ.
Russ, and
Who's the
losing.
other- Oh, and
of
Rodgers.
course Rodgers. Duh. Well, I wasn't even questioning Rodgers. I was trying to figure out who that third one is, but Russ is
I
probably.
mean,
the
is
third.
Russ? I mean, is
I don't know. I think he does because he won a Super Bowl because of what he
He's
did
done the
early in his
two.
career. But he's never. I don't even think he has an MVP vote. Losing to teams far worse in talent, going 500 or barely better with playoff and even championship caliber teams isn't impressive in his 2 Super Bowl runs with Bill Cowher's players and coaching staff, and doesn't warrant how much the media loves him. This is the other game. Remember how I said at the beginning? I teased like there's a matchup later on that the loser of that game, their coach could be fired. This is it. Because Mike Tomlin, I don't know if either of these coaches get fired per se, but I think there's going to be a mutual parting of ways. And there is honestly, what should happen is every AFC North coach should be fired or let go.
You know what?
Everyone.
I can get behind that. One coach was honestly, I think one coach in particular, I think the owner got in the way of something that was really, really great, and it could have been a lot greater. Stefanski.
Yep.
I think. You had
to give Deshaun Watson that contract.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, you had Nick Chubb at the top of his game. The Browns could have been great. They're the only people that hurt themselves. Let that be known.
Yeah, they
Browns
hurt
could be a
themselves.
12-win team this year. Could have been.
And now you're rolling out with Shador, and you don't know what your quarterback situation is going to be like next year. Kevin Stefanski, 2-time Coach of the Year, by the way, could be gone. Zach Taylor should be gone in Cincinnati. We talked about that last week where, Robert Saleh, Mike McDaniel combo in Cincinnati could be a lot of fun if Mike McDaniel gets fired in Miami. John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin both have very similar careers. They've each won a Super Bowl. They kind of linger around, and they win enough to where you don't need to make a change, but they don't win what you need them to win. Yeah.
But you don't have a Super Bowl winning quarterback in Lamar, and you don't have the defense you used to have. Your defense used to be insane.
The counter to that is with Lamar, with the amount of money and assets that have been invested into that team and on the defense, and especially, they should have a Super Bowl appearance. And against the Chiefs a couple of years ago, he folded. It was in Baltimore. It was the first time the Chiefs had played a road playoff game, and they went into Baltimore and beat the Ravens. The argument is you should have a Super Bowl, at least a Super Bowl appearance with Lamar. And there's a lot of... That's going to be a very interesting topic of conversation this offseason. If Harbaugh's still there, is Lamar. And I'm sure we'll dive deeper into that. Because there's a lot of smoke. And usually where smoke, there's at least a little bit of fire. Because somebody's leaking that. I think the Steelers organization as a whole would be better off going for a complete reset. Because right now, they're not in hell. They're not a winner. They're in purgatory. We talk about the Vikings in purgatory all the time. The Steelers are right there in purgatory. Because they are 9-8, 9-10, 10 wins, getting bounced in the playoffs. What do you call that? That's right there, because you're not winning, you're not losing. That's not a great spot. It's purgatory.
I'll turn my camera on in a second. I got to get some stuff done. But keep going.
The Steelers are firmly in purgatory, and you have to hit the hard reset. And I know it's difficult. I'm sure it's very hard to do. You're letting go of a Hall of Fame coach. You're completely rebooting, and being told that you're going to have to lose maybe for a year or so when you're so used to winning, barely, but still winning, it's got to be difficult. I can only imagine what it's like. I wish I knew what it was like to have a winning season, but it's not about me.
See, and here's the thing: I don't feel bad because you had your 2 Super Bowls. You had I'm going to talk directly directly to Dylan. You had your 2 Super Bowls, and you acted like this was still a Super Bowl team. Not you specifically, but your organization.
This was an all-in year. That's why you don't get an Aaron Rodgers if the expectation's not Super Bowl. Like, that's why you go after him at this stage in his career. Or just ever in general. Like, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's one of the best to ever suit up. He's been one of the best quarterbacks I've ever watched in his prime. You don't go after that unless the expectation's Super Bowl. And I think they had a false sense of where their team was at. Because like I said heading into this year, I know they're the highest paid defense, but there's a reason my bold prediction was the Steelers going 8-9. It wasn't just me drinking the haterade, which I do quite often, but it's because I didn't have that much faith in this defense. I thought it was a little overrated. The offense, I didn't see besides DK where the plays were coming from. And this has been a team that runs 14 personnel.
Yeah.
13, 14 personnel. Hell, they'll run 0-4. Just 4 personnel. No running backs, all tight ends. Hand it off to Johnny Smith. Like, this is the team?
Not using your freaking rookie running back either. Was he second or a third round pick?
He was like a third or fourth. Out of Caleb Johnson. And that's been one thing that Dylan's harped on all year is where's Caleb Johnson? Mm-hmm. Now, Kenneth Gainwell has shown some signs. I mean, he had a really good touchdown against the Lions that I still can't believe was a touchdown. Jalen Warren's shown up in spurts. But I like this Ravens team in this game. I really like Derrick Henry going through the teeth of that defense because I don't think Derek Harmon's playing. And that's been a huge difference for them. You mentioned DK. I mean, if DK is in that game last week against the Browns, the Steelers are resting their starters this week.
Yep.
Like, that's the difference. If you watch the final 4 plays of that game, they tried Denzel Ward 3 times in the end zone with MVS. If DK is there, you're probably getting one of those.
It's not a terrible... Like, Denzel Ward has been known to get mossed every now and then. And
yes,
I mean,
but you're not doing it 3 straight times.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. Especially when you had Kenneth Gainwell wide freaking open.
Yeah.
Wide freaking butt naked open. I think we're opening up a wound for Dylan.
Say what?
I think we're opening up a wound if Dylan listens to this.
That's okay. You guys open up my wounds all the time. All right, so this is what we think the playoffs are going to look like after Week 18. 1 seed is going to be Denver. And then your wild card games is going to be the Los Angeles Chargers at the 2 seed New England Patriots. You have the 6 seed Buffalo Bills at the 3 seed Jacksonville Jaguars and the 5th seed Houston Texans at the 4 seed Baltimore Ravens. Let's go through the AFC. Okay?
Yeah.
Chargers Patriots, who wins?
Patriots. I think
Patriots?
I don't think Herbert is going to be enough this year. Sure. I think the Patriots. It depends on how, like, if the Patriots have all their guys.
Now, 1, I'm going to drink the haterade a little bit on this one. 2, the Patriots haven't really beaten winning teams. Like, if you look at Tankathon and you see and you look, it's like, oh my God, these are the top 10 teams in the NFL draft. That's also a good chunk of the Patriots schedule. Now, granted, you play who's on your schedule, and you got to beat your schedule no matter who's on it. But
correct.
I got the Chargers, but you got the 2 seed Patriots. Okay, 6 seed Bills or the 3 seed Jaguars.
I think it's going to be the Bills. They always come alive. They come alive. Last week was I think last week was an anomaly of them not coming alive.
This is so hard for me because the Jaguars have been a team that has surprised me a lot. Trevor Jackson, who the fudge?
Jackson.
Oh, Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence these last couple weeks has come alive. Him and Liam Cohen's offense, the way the Jaguars have played since Travis Hunter's injury, like everybody talks about the Jaguars, nobody talks about the guy that they centered their entire draft class around and traded up not just a first round pick this year, they're swap picks, but also a first round pick in 2026 to go up again. He has not been part of the success.
You know who's been the reason? Kobe Myers. It was always Kobe Myers.
He's been a baller.
6-1 with them, something stupid like that.
They're on like a 6-7 game heater.
6-7.
I hate myself. I got the Jaguars. I got the Jaguars because I think Sean McDermott's time in Buffalo is run up. I think the Bills have run their course, and we're going to start seeing some new blood in the AFC. This is going to be a very weird. It's kind of like the Rams-Bengals year where the Super Bowl matchup just doesn't feel right because it doesn't feature the Patriots or the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. We're going to see that this year. We're not going to see a Bill. I mean, we're not seeing a Bengals, a Chiefs. I don't think we see a Bills. And this is supposed to be the Bills' year because you look at the field and it's like, all right, you're not going up against Burrow, Mahomes. Jackson's in the field right now, but I don't think he's going to be in the field very long.
Unfortunately, they didn't do enough this offseason. I mean, Joey Bosa was a great signing. Fantastic for them. But you can't just go out and get an older player and think everything's going to be okay.
Nope.
Like
I got the Jaguars. I got the Jaguars beating this team. Yeah. The Commanders completely whiffed. 5th seed Texans or 4th seed Ravens?
Ooh, Texans.
Yep.
Texans for sure. I think it's actually very easy.
Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of maths here. So not even maths. So we're looking at on the AFC side, you've got the Bills versus the Broncos, and the Texans at New England. I've got the Chargers at the Broncos, and the Texans at the Jaguars. This is so weird on my end. Like, this doesn't feel right at all.
I know.
But
this is one of those years.
It is.
One of those years.
Bills, Broncos.
No. Bills. They've been there.
Bills?
Broncos haven't. Bo Nixon's going to crumble. Absolutely collapse under pressure.
Texans, Patriots.
Texans. Notice the trend.
So, your AFC Championship game, we'll come back to that in a second, but it's going to be, okay. You got Texans. All right, Texans are your AFC champs. Go through. Go ahead.
Let me tell you this. It ain't going to matter who they're playing. It's going to be the Texans. As long as their defense stays healthy. I am falling into that they are the best defense that the league has seen since 2009. That defense is nasty. That offense, okay, I'll retract my freaking Nico statement. That guy can ball out, and he's Mr. Reliable. He's Mr. Reliable right now. And I think
you game plan for him.
You're game planning for Nico right now.
Yeah!
But you have Marks. Nick Chubb is still alive, correct?
He's somewhere.
When you need a play, Nick Chubb can come in and be that guy. That can be your dark horse in the playoffs. That Texans team is legit. CJ Stroud is legit. He has some dumb mistakes. Don't get me wrong. He had two gosh darn awful interceptions against the Chargers last week. But it doesn't matter when the defense is able to just correct every single mistake you've ever made. It's going to be the Texans.
So I've got Chargers at Broncos and Texans as Jags as my divisional round. Did the Chargers Broncos play each other? Obviously,
Yes.
they have. They play each other week 18, and I took the Broncos to win that game. But what happened earlier in the year? Chargers won 23-20 in LA.
I'll lie.
See, I don't think there's something about Justin Herbert. I'm taking Herbert and the Chargers. It doesn't feel right. I'm taking Herbert and the Chargers to beat the Broncos. Not really because they've been there, but because they have the more experienced quarterback. Head coach battle between Sean Payton and Harbaugh is going to be very interesting.
Yes. It should be
Texans
fun.
Jaguars. The Texans Jaguars game I'm going to be really looking forward to. A very good defensive matchup, but also two rising stars at quarterback in Stroud and Lawrence. This is the place that Lawrence is supposed to be. He's supposed to be, when he was drafted number 1 overall, he was supposed to be the guy that gets the Jaguars to the AFC Championship games.
Mm-hmm. And he very well could be.
But not this year. Give me the Texans.
Oh, thank gosh.
Give me the Texans. And then give me... See, I don't think it's going to matter who represents the AFC. Because I think the NFC wins no matter what. But I'll take Texans. I'll take Texans just for the heck of it. Texans winning the AFC. And we're going to get some, you're just Stroud fans. We're going to hear some crap from the other two in the chat, and that's okay. Let's look at the NFC now. All right, so you got your 1 seed Seattle Seahawks. Wild card game, 7 seed Packers and 2 seed Bears. 6 seed Rams versus 3 seed Eagles, and 5th seed Niners versus 4 seed Panthers. Cam, you got Packers or Bears?
I think that's easy. That's Bears. Ben Johnson is probably very, very hungry at the moment.
Rams or Eagles?
Let's go Rams. Vengeance. Get their get back.
It's in Philadelphia again, too.
Oh, jeez.
So I will say that we're both in agreement so far. I think the Bears are the better team than the Packers. I don't really trust the Packers. And the Bears right now, Caleb Williams, these last couple of weeks has really impressed me, especially against the 49ers. He's made some really good throws. You can see he's getting better. And the defense, while not the greatest defense, they sack the quarterback and they get interceptions. They give up points, but they are a playmaking defense. And they'll get after Jordan Love. They'll force him into mistakes. Caleb Williams will take advantage. The Rams, they were my Super Bowl pick at the beginning of the year. The Eagles are not that. They're a fraudulent 12-win team. The Rams, yes, they're coming off of a loss against the Falcons. The Falcons are a very weird team. Stafford threw 2 picks. He might have lost the MVP. I hope he didn't because of that, because whatever. I got the Rams being the Eagles. And the 49ers, Panthers, I think I know where your head's at here, but...
I think it's going to be the 49ers pretty easily.
Yeah, 49ers
Did they
are going
play?
to blow out the Panthers.
Did they play
Did
this
they?
year?
That's a good question. Let me
I feel
look.
like they played in Carolina.
They played in San Francisco. It was 20-9 a couple weeks ago.
Ah, yes. It was, was it Thursday or Sunday Night Football? It was a late game. Or later.
It was. Purdy had 3 interceptions in that game and still won. Oh, that was it was a late game where both quarterbacks were just terrible.
Absolute dookie poo-poo.
Okay. So the way we've got it now, we've got the Rams at the 1 seed Seahawks and the 49ers in a rematch against the 2 seed Bears. What do you think? For the divisional round.
Give me the
I'm
Bears.
going Rams. You got Bears over 49ers.
And give me the Rams.
So you've got an NFC title game of the Rams, 6 seed Rams, at the 2 seed Bears. Remember, this is going to be in Chicago.
Yeah, and the Rams
This
are
is
going
a
to win
dome team playing in Chicago. You got the Rams beating the Bears.
Yep.
I
Rams and
will
Texans.
take the I've got the 49ers beating the Bears. They just did it. The 49ers have been here. Kyle Shanahan's been here. Brock Purdy's been here.
But
Give
is
me
your
that
pass rush
matchup.
going to be there?
That'll be very interesting to see.
That's the kicker.
So it'll be 49. Nope, sorry. Rams at 49ers. The Super Bowl is in San Francisco. It's at Levi. And the Rams are going to be playing in it. So we both have Rams Texans for the Super Bowl. And I've got Rams to win. I'm sticking with my Super Bowl pick. I've got Matthew Stafford winning his second ring. He's going to win the MVP. In part because he's the older guy. It's probably his last chance. And voters do look at stuff like that. Like last year, Lamar Jackson had the better year, but it was like Josh Allen's turn to win the MVP. They're going to look at that. I think Stafford's going to win the MVP. He's going to win a Super Bowl, and he's going to retire a Hall of Fame player.
Cinema.
What says you?
I
says you?
think you're on the right page, but I think it's going to be a heartbreak into retirement. Texans are winning
beating
it. Give me the young gun Stroud to win his first Super Bowl.
I like it. I'm not disappointed. I think this is going to be a very fun playoffs because what's going to make this so fun is we don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty. You have 3 NFC West teams that are very good. The Seahawks could very well win the Super Bowl. I think, again, whoever comes out of the NFC is going to win the Super Bowl. The Rams, the 49ers, the Bears, the Seahawks. Those 4 teams I could very well see winning the Super Bowl. On the AFC, there's a lot of interesting matchups. I don't know how, it's going to be fun to see how some of these play out. All right.
Yeah.
We mentioned at the top of the pod that we're going to talk about college football. So that's what we're going to do right now. So I'm going to share my screen again. We're going to show the college football playoff bracket. And again, this is being recorded on New Year's Eve, so maybe by the time you watch this, some of these games have already played. Well, actually, only one of these games is going to play New Year's Eve, and that's the Cotton Bowl, Ohio State, Miami. And Miami fans, you can keep running your mouth. Jeremiah Smith is going to dog walk you guys.
Oh gosh.
Ryan Day, you got cocaine Ryan Day calling plays again.
Yeah, that dude's foaming at the mouth. If you look at all of his college football playoff games, they are incredible. There has not been one person that has been able to stop his offense. The only thing in this game,
Alabama did.
no, not
Alabama
even
did.
then. They still scored 24, and they still could have scored more. Well, and Justin Fields was hurt, and Sermon wasn't in. But this game will come down to Miami's defensive line. If Ohio State can do what they usually do, but there was a little bit of pressure coming in against Indiana, so I think Miami's defensive line is going to be better, but I think that's the only comparable way or comparable position group in this game. Give me Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State's 9.5-point favorites in this game for a reason. Carson Beck is going to look like Carson Beck that I know, I think. You have Matt Patricia, one of the best defenses in the league, in the country. This has been Arvell Reese is going to smother him. Caleb Downs, I'm predicting a Caleb Downs interception. Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith. This is going to be a very fun offensive game for Ohio State. Max Clare.
Bo Jackson.
I understand, it's a playoff game. Anything can happen. It's college football. But that's not going to happen this year. Ohio State's a far and away better team. And yes, they lost to Indiana in the Big Ten championship game. A lot of that was Brian Hartline wasn't all in. He was the one calling plays. You could tell because they were running the offense that was being ran didn't look like the Ohio State offense, which is why Ryan Day's taken back control. I appreciate Brian Hartline, everything he's done for the program. I love the guy, but they should have made that decision sooner, because you can't be, like Ron Swanson said, you can't half-ass two things, you better whole-ass one thing. And he was half-assing. He was half-assing it. So Ryan Day calling plays. He was a head coach because of his play calling. It's not like he's a bum play caller. And Brian Hartline essentially got that title, got that role as you've been here long enough, we're going to promote you as a favor. Like, he's not a great play caller. He's just a really good recruiter, a good coach. That's fine.
He had to give it up, too.
That's his roots. He did. So, we both got Ohio State beating Miami. Georgia is going to beat... I think they could beat the piss out of Ole Miss.
I don't think we don't need to talk about that game much.
We are going to see an Ohio State-Georgia rematch in the Fiesta Bowl. This will probably... I could see this being the best game of the playoffs.
Yes. I'm not even going to predict
this could be the national champion. This should, in some cases, be the national championship game. These are probably the two best teams in the country. I know Indiana's won, but if you... I know Indiana beat Ohio State. But
they're going to have to go through Oregon.
Sitting there and thinking Indiana is better than both Georgia and Ohio State, I've got something to tell you, man. Again, I know Indiana beat Ohio State, but these two teams played 10 times, Indiana, Ohio State. Ohio State probably wins 7 of them.
Yep.
Minimum.
Yep.
If Georgia and Ohio State play 10 times, each probably winning 5. So it'll be a matter of which one. Like that. This is going to be a fun game. And
we're not predicting it though. We'll leave it at that.
So do you think Ohio State repeats? Do you think Ohio State repeats?
I will hold my thoughts in. That's what I'm saying. Let's get to the semis, and then we'll come back to this episode.
Okay.
Because Dylan's going to need to be here because the Kentucky fan's going to have to be here because he's going to want to talk about it. I do think in that game, Oregon is going to...
Oregon, Texas Tech.
I think Oregon is going to win by a score or 2. I don't think it'll be relatively close. But I don't know much about Texas Tech other than the fact they have a good defense. And they beat up on BYU.
So, Oregon, with Dante Moore, I think he's going to ball out. And some of that is just me hoping for, like, draft season stuff, that him, Ty Simpson, and Fernando Mendoza all play really, really well here in the playoffs. I think Dante Moore is going to ball out. He's going to have a really great game against Texas Tech. And Texas Tech has a really good defense. Like, their linebacker, I don't remember his name, should have been in New York for the Heisman ceremony. Should have. He's been that good. But I think Oregon with Dante Moore is going to... They're the better team. They're going to play like the better team against Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. It is so cool that Indiana's there. Like,
Unfortunately, yes, it is.
Everything Indiana's been through, I'm fine with them having this one Rose Bowl appearance. Like, seeing their name in the end zone, seeing some of the mock-ups of, like, what they could do with their helmets, and, like, I'm really excited for Indiana. Now, does that excitement lead to a win? Or are they going to be like, oh my God, we're here, we don't know what to do, we've never been here before?
I don't know. I think it will depend on the rain. I think the conditions of the game. Right now it's supposed to be rain, but that's what they said that 5 days ago. So I have not looked at Pasadena's forecast, but it is... I don't know if Indiana gets past Alabama. I know they're a good team. I know they beat Ohio State, but it is... Alabama has a way of winning sometimes that you're like, how in the world does that even happen?
Well, against Oklahoma. The way they beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma is one of the best defenses in the country, and Ty Simpson was, like, down in the dumps. And they put up 34 points against the Sooners. I really want Indiana to win this game. I do. I really do. I want Fernando Mendoza to ball out. I want the Heisman Trophy winner to go off. But Alabama's been here before. Not with Kalen DeBoer yet, but they've been here. Mike Simpson was he was part of Saban's last ride. He was on that team.
Yep.
Give me Indiana.
Yeah, I'm taking
Give me Indiana. Give me the Hoosiers. I think Kurt Cignetti is one of the best coaches in the country. He's going to have these guys ready to go. The underdog story will continue for another game. They're going to win the granddaddy of them all. And then they're going to lose to Oregon in the semifinals.
Yep.
That's kind of my prediction. I think the Peach Bowl is going to have Indiana, Oregon, and then Oregon's going to win that game. I don't think we're going to see the Ohio State-Indiana rematch, even though I wouldn't mind seeing it in the Natty. I think we're going to see Oregon. I'm telling you right now, I think Ohio State's winning the national championship again. I think they're the best team in the country when they're clicking. With Julian Sayin dishing it out, the running backs, Bo Jackson, the way that he's come out as of late, just play your game. Don't be cute. Don't be stupid. In defensively,
run the freaking ball.
You are one of the best defenses in the country. Ground and pound, but don't overdo it either. Like, don't just be like, oh, we have to be the tougher team. No, be the best team. You don't have to be tougher. Just be the best team. I'm going to stop sharing the screen real quick.
Yep.
But my prediction right now, I've got Ohio State beating Georgia and Ohio State beating Oregon in the Natty. That's mine. I don't know if you want to keep. I know you mentioned about wanting to talk about the Ohio State Georgia game with Dylan, so I respect that. That's Caleb Gill's prediction.
All right.
And let's have a hell of a game tonight against Miami.
Go Bucks. Go
Let's
Bucks,
go.
baby.
All right. That's going to wrap it up. Here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. No matter whenever you watch this, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy our other content and we're putting up TikToks. We're sharing. I'm starting to get better at sharing them on Twitter, YouTube Shorts. Keep up to date with everything going on. Tell people that you know that like and love sports as much as we do, specifically football, to like, subscribe to the channel. Let's continue growing this together, and let's make this better and fun for everybody, especially as we get into draft season. That's going to be real. It's going to be a huge time for us here at Party Chat Sports. But again, a lot of playoffs still to go through before we can really dive headfirst into the draft season. So let's all enjoy the ride together. Happy New Year, everybody. We're anywhere and everywhere. I love Party Chat Sports. Until next time, peace.